A good administrator is making sure that your staff knows what page are we on, what chapter are we on, and where are we going. It's never anything new. It's something that you always steal from somebody else that's going to work within your system. You have to put yourself in as a helper, not as a criticizer.
Hey everybody, my name is Pat Cohan, and we're here at the THSADA Spring Sponsor Showcase doing our Hall of Honor interviews, and today's Hall of Honor inductee is Lynn Pool. Lynn's journey through education-based athletics spans generations of impact, from being a Title IX athlete to coaching in the University of Texas women's basketball dynasty to shaping programs and leaders across Austin ISD. In this episode, we talk about the influence of great mentors, what it meant to coach during the rise of women's athletics, and the leadership lessons she learned over decades in the profession. Special thanks goes out to LED Partners for making this beautiful setup. It's a mobile setup on wheels, was able to put it together in less than 90 minutes, and we were up and running. So if you're looking for a mobile display at your next event, check out LED Partners. Thanks so much for joining us, and we hope you enjoy this THSADA Director's Cut. Lynn Pool, one of the nicest people I've ever met in the THSADA family, but a description was given to me recently that I have to share. Somebody said that you are cute as a ladybug, but as mean as a junkyard dog. Where did that come from? And give me that Lynn Pool, because I've always only known the really nice one.
That happened when I was a sophomore in high school. And believe it or not, there was a coach named Sam Tipton at Sunray High School. And our JV team that I was on went up there to his varsity tournament and won the varsity tournament. And he was awarding me the Hall of Honor 2012 Texas Association Basketball Coaches. And that's how he introduced me in the introduction.
So what kind of, were you that kind of player?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was that kind of player. I was fierce on the basketball court.
And so you had a historic, you were part of a historic program as a high school athlete. And was it Canyon High School?
Yes, it was Canyon High School. Bob Snyder he's a Hall of Fame at the National Hall of Fame basketball coaches in Nashville. He was my coach. And during the time that we were there in Canyon during my high school career, he won either state championships or were runners-up. And we had a 73 runner-up when I played and a 74 championship, in which I was all-state both years. So it all started with Bob Snyder.
From there, you go on to play for the Queen Bees. Is that what it was? At Wayland Baptist?
I went to Wayland Baptist and played for Dean Weiss with the Flying Queens. But as freshmen, you usually played on the Queen Bee team. So I did play on the Queen Bee team. And we had a graduate assistant. And this graduate assistant was also the trainer for the Flying Queens. And her name was Marcia Sharp. And she became a legendary coach with Texas Tech University, and won a national championship as a head coach there. So I've known a lot of really prestigious people during my journey.
Yeah, it's like this person was in the Hall of Fame. This person was in the Hall of Fame. This is a Hall of Fame. So the reason why we're doing this interview is because you're getting inducted into the THSADA Hall of Honor. Now, when you look back at your career, did you ever think that this was on your bingo card?
It was not on my bingo card, no. My bingo card was I was coaching basketball, enjoying that. I wasn't even going to get married until I met my husband, and he persuaded me, and now we have 2 beautiful children with 4 grandchildren. So my bingo card is full of surprises, and even going into athletic administration. I didn't know that I would be going that direction either, but it's been a wonderful journey.
Before you get into athletic administration, you have an unbelievable basketball coaching career. 10 years at the University of Texas, where you guys won the 1986 national championship. Then you go into, was it 19 years at Bowie High School?
Yes, 19 years at Bowie High School. Yes, it was wonderful.
And through all that, then come into athletic administration.
I did. Athletic administration doesn't come open very often for women. I was not done coaching. I still wanted to coach, but in 2010, I believe it was when the opportunity came open at the Austin ISD athletic office for an athletic assistant. And I put my name in the hat and it got pulled out. So that's when I started goodbye to coaching and hello to coaching coaches. And it's been a lot of fun.
16 years at Austin ISD, is that right?
Yeah, I'm kind of that what you call, it was a junkyard dog. I'm also that loyal dog. So when I'm in one place, I don't move around. I tend to stick there, make it mine, make it my program, make it a community, make it something that is lasting and people will remember.
And a lot of people don't get to see what happens with that type of time invested into a program and making it better every year. What are some of the things that you're most proud of in growing at Austin ISD?
Well, I think our programs, all of our programs, it's very hard. It's sad, but we have kind of a motto. Our coaches do more with less than anyone else, we feel like, in the state of Texas. We are in a property-rich district, yet all of our money is given away in the Robin Hood funds, and our schools are struggling. They're struggling with finances, with being able to buy uniforms, with being able to go to tournaments, travel, those type things, and having to figure out and work with them in making it so that they are still able to have the resources and things that they need to compete with those outside of our district. And outside of our districts, we're looking at Westlake, Lake Travis, Dripping Springs, Round Rock, Leander schools. Yet we still can compete and do compete with them. And it's all because of the good people that we do have in AISD and how hard they work with their teams.
What systems are unique to Austin ISD to make you guys do so much more with less?
I don't know that it's systems, but I think, again, it is relationships. It's where you've got somebody, a mentor, someone you can go and talk to, someone that you can sit down with and say, hey, I've got this problem. What can we do? I like to think of myself as a solution person, not as a person that says, no, you can't, or no, we're not doing that. And instead say, well, let's see what we can figure out and see if we can make it work.
How many different athletic administrators or executive athletic directors have you worked under?
3.
Okay, so with the change of athletic administrators, what have you learned about how to be effective in the first couple of years of going into a program?
First couple of years, Tommy Cox is the one who hired me. He hired me at Bowie High School. He was the head football coach and athletic coordinator there. And then he went and became assistant athletic director of AISD and then became the athletic director. And he was the one that hired me with Austin ISD. Tommy said he hired me because he didn't have time to teach me. I just needed to jump in and go figure it out. And so I did that with calling up Karen Funk at Northeast ISD, with calling up Jody Horman over at Leander, with calling up Johanna Dennison, calling up Debbie Decker. There was a lot of women out there that were in those positions that were willing to help. And just like coaches, it's never anything new. It's something that you always steal from somebody else that's going to work within your system. And they were so gracious to help me in so many different areas.
And when you look back at what they did for you, how are you pouring into the current women in the industry to help them grow?
I like to think that I am there as a resource for them. I do get a lot of people asking me, how did you get to where you got? What was your journey? What did it look like? How can I get there? What do I need to do? And so I'm always willing to share my story of how it began, where it went, the bumps and the mountains and the valleys and how all that came about.
But is there a formula? Like, I mean, I've heard your story now. A formula to get to where you are now. Like the way it worked for you wasn't this set, like do this, do this, do this, do this.
No.
What was your mentality that you think helped you get to where you are?
It didn't matter in what role I was in. I was going to be the best I could be. It didn't matter if I was an assistant. It didn't matter if I was a head. It didn't matter where I was. But I was going to be the best I could be for the people that were counting on me, for the people that needed me. And whatever that took, I was going to find what it was, what that formula was that was going to make them successful.
And now, I mean, during all that time, because you had your first child while you were still at the University of Texas, and then you had your second child during coaching a really intense season. How do you mentor people, men and women, how to have families in this industry?
You have to have a very supporting partner, in which I did. Roy Pool, my husband, helped me with the sons and growing up. And they grew up in the gym. They were there. They saw athletics, which is not a bad thing for young people to see. They were both they were soccer players. They didn't play basketball, but they were soccer players, and they were involved in athletics. And my oldest son, that was called the National Championship baby because he was born the year after the 86 National Championship. He actually last year won his first state soccer championship at Cedar Park. Very, very proud of him. My youngest son was in coaching and teaching at Bowie High School, and he is now in his first year as an assistant principal at Austin High. So very, very, very proud of both Winston and Dalton and the direction they've gone. And I believe a lot of that is through athletics. They've seen the lessons, they've seen the losses, they've seen the wins, they see how it hurts, they see how the joys are, and they want it to feel good. You don't want to feel sad, but you know that sadness is something that's going to help you grow.
And you're in a place in your career, you're still in the role. Like a lot of times when people come into the Hall of Honor, they're retired and they're out the door, but you're still in the seat. What do you hope to accomplish before your career is over?
There's a lot left to still accomplish. I just hope that I have been able to lay a roadmap and a foundation for those coming after me to continue to go in the right direction and not have to dig out of a hole.
What would you say is the right direction for high school or education-based athletics from where you sit, in what you see?
I think it's the public perception of what education-based athletics is. It's so difficult nowadays with your college athletics becoming more pro sports, with your NILs, with your transfer portals, all those, and possibility it could be coming to high school. And anymore, it's like, if I don't like you, I'm leaving, I'm going to another school, instead of sticking out the tough times and figuring it out. And why is it that your coach is being tough on you in this situation and finding the positive in the toughness instead of saying, I don't like you, I don't want to play for you anymore? It's really hard. Education, athletics, just education-based anything right now is really, really hard, because it's not like the good old days when you say, get on the line and run. Not much running done these days. A lot of transferring and going somewhere else.
Do we ever improve that? Is there a different, who is doing it the best? And not specific people, but people that are doing X, Y, and Z seem to have success in this current model.
Well, actually, I think the state of Texas is doing a pretty good job of it, and the UIL is steering that.
Yeah.
There's just some things that come our direction. It's when the state legislators sign a bill that they don't know how they're going to enforce it, and they rely that we have to enforce it. Let's just talk about the is it the Senate Bill 8? That was the bathroom bill. And what that does to our locker rooms, where if we're in have a male coaching female sports, they can't go into the locker room now unless you have a sign or something over the door that says meeting area. If it's still a girls' locker room, the male can't go in there, and vice versa. Just things like that we're going, whoa, I understand, but then understand athletics as well and what it is that we do.
You recently had a new athletic director come in for Austin ISD.
Yes.
And
I'm going to give a shout out to Jason Glenn. He's doing a wonderful job.
So let's stay there. He comes in, he's got a lot of passion and done a lot of great things at a previous school district. How can assistant athletic directors support an executive athletic director the best way? Like, you've obviously done it now for a long time and been very good at it. What is your advice to other assistant ADs to help the program and, their athletic director be the most successful?
Well, like I said before, I'm kind of loyal and I kind of stick around for a while. So I know the history. I guess you can say I'm a history book. And so if you're willing to learn the history, you can learn from history on the do's and the don'ts. What in history did not work, what in history has worked, why it is you navigate to go this direction and don't navigate to go the other direction. What do you do when you're told no? Do you take that as a no, or do you go and find a solution or another way to ask that question to try to find a yes?
But how do you support an athletic director best?
I think the best way is that you've got their back, number one, but I'm not a yes woman, yes man. I'm just not. If I'm one of those that will look for what might be a problem. Have you thought about this? Let's look at this before we decide on this. Great idea, wonderful, but can we put it in plan if we don't have this or we're not having gotten to this point yet? So I just think a lot of times it's just the discussion that you can have. If you've got an athletic director,
trust, right?
It does start with trust.
Like, how do you build trust with an athletic director to have those real conversations?
I think the trust with an athletic director is your actions. I think your actions and how people perceive you, how the coaches perceive you, how the community perceives you, they know if you're a trustworthy person or not in the actions that you do.
Simple as that.
It's very simple. I wish everybody would keep it simple. KISS, right?
Yeah, exactly. My grandfather had this acronym. It's the same backwards and forwards. So what's that called? What's that like when the letters are the same backwards?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know. I wasn't real good in English.
It's basically do what you say you're going to do what you say you will do, and it's the same DWSYWD. And that was his like password for everything that was on his desk, and that one always rings true for me. Is like, hey, if you say you're going to do something, do it, and that's how you build trust.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
And so, Jason Glenn, we just talked about that. Tell us about your current year with Austin ISD. I asked you about it earlier, and you were it almost brought you to tears, and how
it did bring me to tears.
Impactful it has been this year.
We just have a great athletic department, a group of people that are very diverse in all directions, but all come together as a team, and we've got one another's backs. We have a motto in the athletic department, family first. And we're not just talking about the athletic family. We are actually talking about our families and what we need to do to make sure that our mental health is good with ourselves and our families, and then we can go to work and we can make things happen at work and all. But I'm very excited because we have worked really, really hard. We have a lot of bond work that's going on, and finally seeing the result of our high schools getting their first turf fields, moving on to get our softball and baseball central facilities turfed, having remodelizations of many of the high schools with brand new gymnasiums. Some of those things, it's been a working year. It's been a very working year, and everybody has been involved in it. And it's just been fun to see how everybody, if I can't be at a meeting, somebody else can be there at that meeting, and we all know what's going on. We're all sharing. There's no secrets, which sometimes that's where you get in trouble with administrative athletics. You're not willing to share with your staff or not willing to let everybody know what page we're on. And I think that's one of your successes to a good administrator is making sure that your staff knows what page are we on, what chapter are we on, and where are we going.
That's really well said. How does an athletic department prioritize personal families when there's so many people, so many athletes and coaches and other people that they're trying to take care of? Like how does Austin ISD do that?
We just say family first. And if you got to go, you got to go. And we will get it covered. We will take care of it. We will figure it out. We have been in situations these last few years where we have had to cut staff, and we were doing not just our job, but 2 or 3 other jobs. So we're used to the workload. It has gotten better this year where we've been able to hire some people back, and the workload hadn't been so heavy, but we prioritize. If there's a playoff game tonight, we got to get that playoff game in. It doesn't matter whose it is. We just got to make it happen. So those kind of things is what you got to prioritize, what we need to do, where we need to do it, and till everybody can get back in their place and move on. But it's a wonderful family. It really is.
And you seem like somebody that has a massive capacity to get things done. You have a big plate, right? What are some of your quirks or techniques to get a lot of things done?
Well, I have to make a to-do list. If I don't get my list done, then I'm all over the place and something doesn't get done. So I'm a woman of list. I have a list, my playoff list. I have a list of how we going to do our contracts. I just have lots of lists, and I double check my list all the time and prioritize what needs to be done and try to help the younger people in the office with those type of things too. Have you covered this? Did you look at this? Has this been done? They call me Mama P. I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but that's what they call me.
And so you're helping other people make sure that all the things are getting done. That's how
I hope I am, and I feel like I am, yes.
How do you do that in a way that doesn't seem like you're maybe being critical of someone else?
I think there's a big difference between being critical of someone and helping someone and going in and saying, hey, you need some help? What can I do? What do I need to do to help release the stress that you're feeling right now? Have you covered this? Have you covered that? Do you want me to go make the call? So we've got the officials for tonight's game, or I can go make the call. I know the person that's over in New Braunfels. I can call them for you. We can get on their list for the next playoff game. Those type things. You have to put yourself in as a helper, not as a criticizer.
Do people ever get defensive?
I don't have very much defense. I'm sure there are, and maybe I don't know about it, but yeah.
That's just when Mama P shows up. It's you just do what she says, and yeah, well, you can help me. Yes, of course.
But that's the thing. I don't tell them what to do. I try to be a helper with them on what they're doing.
That's kind of been the story of your career.
I'm a helper. I've always liked to do the grunt work.
I think you like to see things get done.
I do.
And
I do. I don't like to see unfinished business. I want to see it to the end. I want to see it get done. You're exactly right.
What is left to get done for you in your career?
Just, I think I said it before, leave it a better place than what I found before, and hopefully some guidance to continue to take it to a better place, to make it even better than it was.
Well, you're currently doing that, and we thank you so much for being such a great part of the THSADA, the UIL, all the associations that you get a dedicated time to.
And they're wonderful. I mean, everybody out there, you need to join your associations, because that is where you network. That is where you meet the people. You never know who your boss is going to be.
Thanks, Lynn.
Thank you, Pat.